you. Congrats.
Thanks.
What was the emotion crossing that finish line today?
I mean, excitement, joy. I don't take these national titles for granted, even with an off year and no World Championship or Olympics to qualify. But I think I was, notified, or I was aware of at least last year that 5 would have tied, I think, Steve Scott's record, and that was something in my mind last year that was kind of a little disappointing. So coming back this year is something that I still had in the back of my head and definitely wanted to tie. And I think at this point in my career, I just want to keep checking off boxes to kind of, just leave my mark, I guess, in the 1500 in the U.S. and I guess, winning or at least tying the record is something that will be mentioned among and obviously help my case. So, yeah, again, this year with no World Championship to qualify, still was a very deep competitive field. It's funny just kind of coming in as a teammate of mine and also 5K specialist was definitely a guy I was looking out for. So I think it just shows you just how deep middle distance running is in the U.S. where guys can step up and down from other events and still be a factor. So, yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like when Eric made that move, you recognized that was the time you had to move up. Well, what was your
it's funny. So, whenever we race each other, we don't know each other's strategies. We don't all get together and be like, okay, I joked yesterday, Craig, you take the first lap, Eric, you want the second or third, and then, and then we'll go from there. But obviously, we all have our own strategies. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses. And for me, at least, I would want to know what they're doing anyways, even if they asked. And so I think we all had different strategies, but certainly in the back of my head, I knew that Eric being a 5K guy, and I think just his best chance of, putting himself up in the front and winning was to kind of wind it up. But didn't mean that he was for sure going to do it, and I actually found myself in a really bad position when he made his move. With 700 to go, I was out in lane 3, probably like an 8th, 7th or something, and I had to go around a lot of guys just to get on. I actually never really got on his shoulder because Sam had a really good position on him. And so I just kind of stayed in control and just try to stay relaxed because I knew that home stretch was going to be windy, that last 100 meters. So I wanted to save a little something extra for there. But with 400 to go, Sam made a really strong move and got around, to my surprise, easier than I thought. I thought Eric would hold him off a little bit. And Sam made a really hard move. And to be honest with you, it was hard for me to actually kind of get on it without, using up all my energy. And I was just thankful that no one came up around me while I was tucked in behind him, just because I would have to go around another body. So, yeah, it was a hard fought last 400 or 500 meters, and both Oregon guys and alum guys and current Ducks was a good presence up front.
Yeah, well, we were talking to Eric, and he said that sometimes he feels like in these races, some of the guys just defer to you because you've won so many of them.
Me or him? Sorry.
They defer to you.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, when you made that move to get up towards Eric, do you feel like that happened, or have you felt that happen in races at the U.S. level?
Yeah. I'd say yeah. Especially in the prelim, I was in the back for the first 800 meters. I mean, with a 10-man field, I either was going to put myself in the front or in the back. I didn't really want to be tucked in the middle of that pack, and I just noticed the first 800 meters when I was in the back, I just kept seeing people glance back, just kind of waiting for me to come up or just see where I am. And I think it was the guy that was in second to last. I'm like, dude, what are you looking back here for? It's just you and me, man. So yeah, and that comes with the territory, and I learned that real quick. I think in the start of 2012. I just graduated college and I just won the bronze medal, and I remember it was the Boston Indoor Games, and I was just kind of still picturing me and figuring I was still in college. There'd be guys in front of me or pros that would take it on, the guys that are older than me, more veterans, and the rabbit went and no one went. I was looking around. I remember after the race, I was kind of complaining a little bit to, I think it was Will Lear, or I don't know, it was one of the professionals that were significantly older than me, and they were like, dude, you're the medalist, man. We're all, that's your job. And I was just that kind of dawned on me. I was like, he's right. You know what I mean? I didn't hit me until that race. And so since 2012, I just kind of whether I'm full strength, whether I'm coming back from an injury, it's just kind of what comes with the territory. And I try to win races, and I try to establish that kind of, I don't want to say respect, but that kind of, like you described, that's what we strive for. That's what we want as an athlete, you know what I mean? And so it just comes with the territory. So
what's the emotion versus 1 year ago where you came off the track and not feeling yourself at all?
It takes a little while for me to digest, and even pre this year, I was kind of a little disappointed right off the bat, and hours later, I was like, that's actually not a bad performance. And now, obviously, a year to reflect on that race with Robbie. I was I think when my career is all said and done, I'll look back at that race and be pretty happy just the way I fought. And I was kind of like a little the only thing I was disappointed about myself was just all the excuses I made coming off of that. I never like to take away from someone else winning, and I don't want to put an asterisk next to Robbie's name just because I was at not full health. I mean, there's plenty of U.S. titles I probably won where there's guys behind me that had same amount of injuries, and that's why I think I lost it at you actually after Worlds last year when I got hurt again, but I didn't want to sit there and keep talking about it, so I just kind of walked away from the media because I was just frustrated myself, just always talking about excuses and not being 100%. So, yeah, this year I was just happy that I was able to reclaim my title, and actually just looking at my phone, Robbie sent me a really nice text just congratulating me, and that's just kind of like the friendly rivalry we have and the respect that we have for each other. So I'm just happy to come out here, and like I said at the start of this interview, I don't take these U.S. titles for granted, whether it's a World Championship year, Olympic year, or an off year. So just happy to reclaim the title, and like I said, just kind of keep racking up as many as I can and leave my footprint on the 1500 men's event, I guess. U.S.
What was the phone call?
I already put up the caption when I was back there. I was just calling 911 to report a murder. So
mass murder.
I shouldn't say that. Well, I said that to Lewis Johnson. He's like, you shouldn't say that on TV. I was like, all right, I'll just wait for Instagram then. No, I just said they knew who they are. So just having some fun with it.
What else do you want to get out of 2018?
I'd like to end the year with a U.S. #1 ranking. Last year I was second, so winning today obviously is a good step forward and will help my case. But I mean, every year I feel like I say the same thing. I'd like to go overseas and run fast and just win a Diamond League, you know what I mean? Obviously guys are rolling already this year, and I've had a really, really good block of training since pre. So I'm excited to go over there and just kind of start chasing fast times. And yeah, I feel like I'm really strong right now, not so much sharp. And I think we closed in 150 today, so that's, I think, pretty exciting just for where I'm at right now and moving forward. So if I could put both of those together, that'd be great. So,
will you celebrate the Centro restaurant in Des Moines?
Centro, first of all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went there last night actually. I don't know if we'll go back there. I feel like every time we go in and we have this big group of people, they're like, we don't do reservations or our party's too big. So maybe if we show them our ID and it's named after us, they might believe that we own it. So
yeah, well, Courtney Fergus got set up with Olive Garden. She didn't even win, so you won the race today.
She got set up with Olive Garden. What do you mean?
So she had like a late night meal at Olive Garden.
The OG.
They heard about it, and they brought her in and she gave her the VIP treatment.
All right, so who's gonna notify Central for me? I mean, I can't do it myself. I'll call in a random number. It's gonna be a tan boy coming in around 5'9", $130 wet.
We'll try to help you out.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thanks.
Is it fair to say this is your best race since the Olympics?
I wouldn't say so. No, I argue to say I think Oxy last year, where I ran 3:33, was probably my best race just with time wise and how I felt. Today was a good step forward. I beat a really good field, but I would be lying if I said I wouldn't be disappointed if I didn't come away with the win. I felt like where I was and how the race shaped up and the field this year, thought it was mine to lose, and yeah, I probably wouldn't say it was my best race since the Olympics, but definitely right step in the right direction.
The last 100, did you feel like, you at your peak, like that, the kick, was it there?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to win a race for sure. Haven't won too many since the Olympics, but yeah, it was a windy last home stretch, and I just been running a lot of 800s this year and getting beat, putting a main focus on my strength this year, so those 800s kind of been my speed work for the week and just kind of get my butt kicked. It was nice to kind of pull away from obviously a really good field, and I don't know if the board was showing anyone, but I didn't look back until the finish, so I was kind of expecting some people to kind of move up or at least challenge me a little bit, but yeah, I was happy with how I finished.
I mean, it looked like a vintage Centro race, that's why I
yeah.
asked. I mean, it looked like...
Well, I'll have to go back and see myself, but the celebration certainly helped it be a vintage race.
After last year and sort of the start this year with the 800s, was there any doubt that you would get back to this?
To winning?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not in my mind, at least. I think for me, at least, as long as I'm healthy, my dad always calls it the 3 H's. I got to be healthy, happy, and hungry. And as long as I have all those three going for me, usually good things happen. So, relatively speaking, I've been healthy since January 1st, and I was hungrier than ever today coming out. And having my best friend, my family, my team in the crowd out there, obviously I was in good spirits, and so I had the 3 H's going for me today. So, yeah, I don't think there's any really doubt.
Do you ever feel like you've run bad tactically?
Yeah, I mean, today I found myself in a pretty bad spot with 700 to go, but I mean, I make the right moves when I need to. But
yeah, but you're never in a bad spot with like 300 to go.
Okay, with 300 to go, but yeah, I mean, you know what? Actually, I felt like this year, because I missed the whole indoor season, I felt like I was running bad tactically in a few races. And that was something I felt like just the lack of racing I've had in the last year and a half. Normally I'm racing every other week through indoors and through outdoors. And with me being hurt last year and then obviously missing indoor season this year, I felt like this was the least amount of racing I've done since the start of my least professional career. So I definitely felt a little off tactic-wise at the start of the year, whether you may have thought so or not, just for myself. So
you see the fix your mistakes though. Drew Hunter was up front today, very conscious about it, and afterward he's like, "I'm so fit, but there I am in the last lap, completely boxed in, nowhere to go." Whereas you're behind and you get yourself where you need to be.
Yeah, I think that comes with, to be honest with you, I think that comes with fitness as well. I mean, like you have to be super fit to be able to make some of those moves, and I learned that, to be honest with you, like last year at the London World Champs. So I just had the worst build-up I could possibly have. It was like just when I was getting going, I had another strained hamstring or groin and had to miss some time, and so I went into the World Champs like completely unfit, like for me, and no one wanted to take it. And I found myself in the front like I normally do in the first round last year, and I couldn't hold anyone off, and everyone just went around me, and I realized after that race I was like, man, you got to be incredibly fit to be able to do those moves that I would just do like in my sleep, right? And so I think it's just a credit to my fitness in the past. Like I was able to like make some surges, be able to go around the field, like I said, with 700 to go, just because I'm that fit. And if you're not fit and you try making those moves, you waste a lot of energy. So I think that just comes with fitness along with practice.
Yeah.
And you make it look easy, so we just assume you can run from first to last.
That's my job. So
one more, Matt.
Yeah, sure.
Hard one. I mean, I don't know. You've probably commented on it, but I haven't heard it publicly. That Asbel Kiprop positive. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, you've been involved in so many races where he was.
I discussed this at pre, and I'll just kind of reiterate what I said then and a little bit of what Nick Wills said. Everyone wants to know, like, do you feel a victim, and I said back then, like, I don't, because of the way my career is shaped up, and I don't want to sit here and say poor me when, I was able to win the Olympic gold even on his bad day, or if he was or was not, who knows. Whereas there's guys that weren't able to make the Olympics from his country because of, whether he was or was not, and guys that, he stole the spotlight or, that moment from. So I definitely feel like the way my career shaped up, when I don't feel like a victim. Am I surprised? I mean, again, what I said before, I don't speculate guys in my event. I certainly speculate other events, other genders, but in my event, because at the end of the day, I'm going to have to race those guys whether I think they are or not, I think it's better for me to just kind of feel like we're on the same level playing field, and that gets me to think that I have a shot at winning or beating these guys. If I go into it being like, oh, this guy's dirty, this guy's clean, I'm already counting myself out or giving them an advantage. So, like I said, I mean, am I completely blindsided? No, but am I surprised? Sure. You know what I mean? He's a guy that when I first got into sport in 2011, I had a relationship with. He medaled in Daegu, he won, and I just kind of, every time I've seen him on the circuit, he gives me a lot of respect, and I give him a lot of respect. So obviously it's a sad day for the sport. Obviously it's my event, and a guy I've had a lot of respect for and want to think was clean. And who knows? I haven't really dove into a lot of his comments and the story just because it's not going to affect me now. You know what I mean? It's already done, is done, and it's not going to change anything in the past. And I trust that WADA and whoever is going to be handling it will do the right thing, and we'll catch these guys. So.